"I want to bring a change in people's lives." That was the public promise made by Kajal Meena, an elite engineering graduate who cleared the rigorous civil services exam to serve as a subdivisional magistrate in Rajasthan. But mere months into her posting, anti-corruption officials raided her office. They caught her and her staff red-handed, extracting a bribe of 60,000 rupees from a local citizen simply to release a standard land partition decree. This behavior isn't an isolated lapse. Recently, former IAS probationer Puja Khedkar was exposed for allegedly fabricating mental illness, visual impairment, and community certificates to secure a position for which she had already exhausted her legal attempts. Here is the striking irony. To secure these elite government roles, both officials had to pass the General Studies Paper 4, an exhaustive written examination specifically designed to test a candidate's probity, integrity, and empathy in public life. They knew all the correct ethical answers on paper, yet in real-world practice, they did the exact opposite. When the sharpest, supposedly most moral minds enter public service, their principles often evaporate. Are we witnessing a spontaneous collapse of personal character, or the symptoms of a deeply diseased system? An honest officer faces an internal battle between integrity and temptation. This chart shows the economic friction. Public salaries grow statically, while inflation climbs steadily, matched only by exponential wage growth in the corporate sector. Closing this wealth gap legally is nearly impossible. This economic pressure is reinforced by a cultural phenomenon, sometimes referred to as azimati, a deep-seated societal expectation that power should naturally be converted into personal wealth. Taking a cut becomes normalized, even expected by the official's own social circle. The bureaucracy's physical structure provides the perfect cover to execute this wealth transfer. This pattern of administrative isolation doesn't stop at the edges of a district office. It extends to the regulatory bodies that oversee public health, where the same pressure to play along has lethal consequences. Legitimate ORS, shown here with its precise sodium and potassium balance, is a life-saving medical treatment for dehydration. Yet for years, private corporations marketed high-sugar energy drinks under the name ORS, a formula that actually worsens child diarrhea, which kills roughly 120,000 children in India annually. A pediatrician in Hyderabad spent 10 years fighting to expose this medical fraud. However, the regulatory bodies and medical associations, the administrative arm of the health sector, ignored his data for a decade, choosing to protect corporate lobbying interests over child survival. When we see administrative regulators prioritize corporate marketing over medical science, the pattern becomes clear. Whether in land decrees or life-saving medicines, the bureaucratic machine acts as a defensive network that treats individual integrity as a threat to be neutralized. Kajal Meena and Puja Khedkar are individual outcomes of a structural calculation. The system acts as a high-pressure assembly line, expecting individuals to follow unacceptable norms or be crushed and stained by the machinery of the state. Fixing this requires moving past theoretical ethics exams and enforcing a practical structure, like the ALIR framework. Every administrative action must rest firmly on 4 pillars: accountability, legality, integrity, and responsiveness. Building those pillars requires tearing down the old architecture. We must strip officials of discretionary powers, replace paper trails with digital monitoring, and establish ironclad protections for whistleblowers. As long as a system financially rewards dishonesty and professionally punishes honesty, no written ethics test will create a moral society. True integrity cannot rely on individual heroism. We have to build a system where accountability is an absolute, unavoidable guarantee.